And we're live.
And we're live. Okay, okie, let's go.
Okay.
Alrighty, so welcome to Tea Talks. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on this video. Hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna jump straight into it again. You know, no chit chat. No, I'm just joking. This is a video about chit chats.
Okay, yeah, so we're going to start off about why we started a podcast and why you clicked on this one and not all the other homies that make podcasts.
Yeah.
So to differ ourselves from them, I guess.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, like I think a lot of people have the intention and idea to like create a podcast
Yeah.
or create a YouTube channel, and they have like really interesting topics to talk about, but they just don't. You know, like you remember when you were like sitting with your mate after a night out, or you know, you just alone together for like a little bit, and you guys start having these deep conversations, and you're like,
The
"Oh,
DMCs.
the DMCs, this deep."
Dude, we should
meaningful-
start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how it all started.
This is how it all started, exactly like that.
So yeah, I think life just gets in the way sometimes with like some people, like if they want to start YouTube or
Mhm.
like the social aspect of like putting yourself out there, because it is like
Yeah, it is quite daunting, yeah.
it is to get that first step.
Mhm.
You know, that's why podcasts are so cool, because like you can do it with a friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and then when you do it with like how we best friends, you do it as in a thing where it's like you're just talking to your best friend
Exactly.
and like it's fun, and the audience.
Mhm.
You know, so the audience just be another homie.
Exactly.
You know?
That's so cool. It's so creative.
Yeah.
And just
It's also
phenomenal.
it's also like this isn't our first take. We've had technical issues, so we'll start over again. And we were talking about how nice podcasts are, because if you don't, like, let's say you're cleaning or you whatever,
Mhm.
and you don't want to listen to music, it's nice to have a podcast going, especially with people that you're comfortable with. Like, I know I've watched podcasts of these group of guys that like just chill and do like funny things for so long, and you get like a connection with them, you know,
Mhm.
like a really like connection. And it's weird how you can just get a connection from people on the other side of the world that
Yeah.
don't know you at all.
Most definitely.
You
like,
know?
like, and there's like also such a big part of your lives as well. Like,
Yeah.
and they have no idea who you are, but you know exactly who they are because you've like gone through a journey with them. Listening to their audios and listening to their life experiences and wisdom, and you can take that with you. Like these podcast people I've been listening to years, and I feel like I've established a relationship with them, even though they have no idea who I am. And it's kind of amazing that you can do that with a podcast. You can seek like knowledge and advice and wisdom, and even just like we were talking about this earlier on the first take, like how if you're alone in a certain space and you're cleaning whatever, it kind of like brings you in and makes you feel included in a conversation. You know?
Yeah.
And that's how
Like there's a lot of people that are alone right now, and it is a big world out there. Like it's very scary.
Mhm.
You know, there's no like set book rule of what to do. Like I feel like when I came out of high school, it was like this is what I was gonna do, this is who I was gonna be, and then things changed like out of nowhere COVID happened.
yeah,
You
That's
know,
a big
which
one,
is a big like just doorstop on life. For like
and also
immediately out of nowhere.
and also immediately right after we got out of high school,
Yeah.
COVID was the first thing that happened within the first 3 months of being out of that schooling system. You know, that was very like rigid and like you do this, and there's like lots of steps and routines that you could follow. And then breaking that pattern with COVID, being isolated inside for months and months and ends, and then
Finding
reiterating.
yourself.
Yes, exactly.
I think that, like, I actually appreciate COVID
Mhm.
as maybe controversial or whatever, but like when I came out of high school and there was that couple, like I think it came out by my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have like a big party because COVID happened like around April, and it was like, oh, this is what I was gonna do, this is who I was gonna be, whatever, and like taking a step back completely, because it didn't work anymore. Like people was just staying at home with, like, you didn't see friends at all for that big period of time, and it takes you back and you think to yourself like, what do I want, and like what do I need, and everything. Like still now I don't know, but I think if I didn't have COVID, I would still be very lost.
Yeah.
You know, like now, like the most important thing is family and friends. Honestly, like good friends and good connection with your family. Because no matter what, little girls. So no matter
Ash, Bash. And also dogs. Dogs are also
Yeah,
lovely. I love dogs. Like, even though it sounds ironic, but dogs are just the best thing ever.
I'm a
Like, any
cat
animal.
person. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're on the fence, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's why we're such good friends, you know.
Opposites attract. Yeah, but I was saying like if I didn't have that step back or that year or two step back and like really feel like if I had to study what I wanted to study back then, I think that I wouldn't have liked it as much now. Thinking back to like what I want now compared to what I wanted straight after high school. Because when you come up, like when you're in matric, you think, oh yeah, got my whole plan sorted out. I'm an adult now. You're the top dog, whatever. And then you come out into like a world, and it feels like you're just like you can take any path, and it's your decision.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it's up to you now. It's a very big like just weight on your shoulders.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's no one looking at you saying that you should do this. No, like after high school, no one's looking at you to do something or expecting you to do anything.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of freedom at the same time, a lot of scary things because there's no one responsible for you anymore. You are responsible for your own life, and anything and everything is so chaotic with like different paths that you can take. Like you said, yeah. So it's
like
really crazy.
Like the rat race. If anyone doesn't know what the rat race is, it's basically like this constant like strive for everyone to do better than everyone else no matter what. So to be the top guy or to be the best of something, to make the most money and everything.
Yeah.
There's a very big like not need but like expectation to everyone to be like that. But not everyone's the same.
Yeah, everyone's different, you know.
Everyone's
Everyone
really
has their
different.
own strengths and own abilities. I actually ran into my teacher the other day. He was kind of like a psychologist / teacher, and he was a student teacher. And he was busy talking to me about how schools focus on bringing kids' weaknesses up to their strengths and kind of balancing that out. And he was kind of saying that's completely pointless because you're making everyone average by making their strengths and things stronger,
100%.
you know. And like what they should have been doing is focusing what they're really good at, what like gets them going, what puts a fire in their belly, and making the advantages of their strengths so much greater, so that when they're out of high school, they just pursue that strength that is just makes them unique, you know.
Yeah, I think that like when you like something, like and you're good at it, and you strive so much harder in that one like specific aspect. So let's like talk about how like Waldorf. Waldorf is a school here. It's a very like homeschool vibe, and it's nice and chill and everything, and it's totally different from a mainstream school. So when I went there, they had subjects of like we would do all like instead of doing history, maths, science, LO all in like one day, what they would do is we would have like main class for like 2 hours in the beginning of the day, and whether that be so instead of doing history throughout the whole year, one lesson every day, we would do 2 hours of just history every morning and no other subjects except maths and like English. So all the sciences and everything would be main class, and we would do that for like 3 weeks and then have a big test on that. And there was also like there was really cool subjects. Not everyone is like all to do with intellect. Like there was guys in my class that were very bad at like English and maths and history, but then as soon as you gave them woodwork, they would strive so hard in that. They would strive so hard in that and make like the most beautiful like woodwork. Where the total opposite of the people that were good at maths would be like wouldn't do as well. you know. And I think in a mainstream school, they just bring everyone up to be, like you said, average.
Like average, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that's an interesting point of view as well. That's a really good way of teaching, I think, as
Mm.
well, because in the Japanese culture back in samurai times, there were masters of a certain particular attribute, whether it be carpentry or swordsmanship or
Yeah.
blacksmith. You know, like those were dedications that would take incredible amounts of focus to focus on this one thing to make them um, amazing at that specific thing that they were doing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, like how schooling systems take short little bits of everything when you're studying or learning something,
Yeah.
and it doesn't actually sink in properly because your focus is here, and then it takes you about 20 minutes to get into that zone, and then you hit that. That's like the middle period of that lesson, and then
And then you start getting into it, and then it's just a cut off
and then
again.
it cuts it off, and then you don't have that ability to really engage with your subject matter, which is so.
What you said about like
Yeah?
you said the Japanese or the samurai or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if it's like China or Japan, but what they have there is that like when you're good at something in a young age,
Mhm.
your parents put a lot of effort into that like set like of strengths that you have,
Mhm.
so that like if they see that you're good at ballet dancing, they'll put a lot of energy into that
Yeah.
from when you're younger, and like push that hard, because everyone wants to be the best. It doesn't matter what you do.
Mhm.
Like I know that like if you a janitor, which in our country of South Africa is like a lower class blue collared worker,
Uh-huh.
you know, roughly that's what we associate it with. There's no like hierarchy there, so it's like if you take pride in what you work, like in your work,
Mhm.
and you do your best that you can there, you'll be seen as like better than if someone was like good and made more money but didn't take pride in their work and didn't strive to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is a very like I might be talking out my ass here,
No.
but I think that's a very good like way of thinking and a way of life.
Exactly. Like just do the stuff that like makes you happy. And
Yeah.
No matter what it is, like anyone can say anything about it, as long as you're feeling good about it. It's something you should carry on, because at the end of the day, that's really what life is about. It's about you have this short amount of time on this planet, and your experiences are selected by you. You know,
Yeah.
and it's whether or not you're making the decision to make other people happy or yourself happy, which is kind of weird. People that make other people happy or try to
Yeah.
end up being really, really sad,
Yeah.
and those that are making themselves happy are in a way like a lamp that lights up a dark space, because their happiness is contagious.
Yeah.
When you're around that person who's enjoying something that they're doing, they are more energetic and more lively, and people are attracted to that type of person.
Yeah. I think hanging around with people that are like, in sense, like happy. I don't know what you can say happy is, but that are more positive about things.
Yes, yeah.
And really influence like how you think. Like if you like if you think like if you think of one bad thing, this helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot where when I was in a bad state, is that like when you think of something bad, like let's say of like anything, like the economy of South Africa is bad or whatever, you think of like one good thing about that bad situation.
Mhm.
Like we live in such a beautiful country filled with so much culture, and the scenery here is beautiful. We live right by the beach. We can go to the beach whenever we want. We take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know? And then you start thinking, if you keep on doing that, you start thinking like the more positive sides, because the positive is a lot stronger than the negative.
Yeah.
When you start thinking like that, and it really does boost what you think of, like how you think positively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, listen, I like that. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever heard you say that before. That's really cool.
It really does help.
Yeah.
Because you like, then you start, every time you associate with that one thing, you think of the positive first,
Mhm.
you know, and then it eventually just snowballs into you being a happier person, which is more than like like all you need is to be happy. That's what my mom says.
Yeah.
She says no matter what's happening, as long as you're happy and you're doing what you like, no amount of money, no amount of like friends or anything's gonna change that aspect. You know?
It's a good mom.
Yeah, my mom's a legend. Yeah. So is Ash.
Ash is brutal.
Ash, say hello to the podcast. Say hello. Ah, she's
Ash is
chilling.
chilling hard.
She's just chilling on my foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
little baby.
Yeah, but it's all about like, I know everyone says it where they're like, oh no, just be happy.
Yeah.
And when you're in a dark space, you don't want to hear those things from like close people because it also feels like, you know, they want the best for you. So obviously they're gonna say something that you think might not be true at the time.
Yeah.
And this is what the podcast is all about.
Yeah.
You know, that you can see from other people's perspective that you don't really know personally
what's going on
in someone's life.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just,
and everyone, I think this Kobe Bryant put something really, really well that I watched the other day. He said something about everyone is born with a puzzle, all right, and they have all the pieces there, but they all are different types of puzzles, and it's just like certain attributes of a person's life or certain characteristics where someone can see something as a negative, it's someone else's positive. And
is this like one man's trash is another man's treasure?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And like everything you're taking for granted and things, you know, and if you can, I think, cross that boundary of yourself to other people and take what you think is a negative and someone else takes it positive, it actually brings positive light to that negative aspect that you were thinking of the whole time. But yeah, and he also said something about the puzzle is something that you have to put together. Everyone has a different puzzle that they have to bring together to see the bigger picture or whatever they want to achieve, or like even if it's happiness or joy or like a job or, you know, something you really want to do. And I think that was really cool.
Yeah. It is really cool. Like I said about you bring the light into the darkness, as you said. It really, really does help. You know, it might seem like stupid at first when you're trying to think of it. Like writing a diary is hard, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone I feel like everyone in their lifetime has had a diary once, and then you write 3 dates, and then it's a lot of effort putting into it. But it's only when it's like you can say 10 bad things about like a specific thing.
Yeah.
If you say one good thing about it, at least you like tried.
Yeah, at least you tried. Yeah.
And then eventually, like now, I used to, before I was like, oh no, I don't want to live in South Africa. All these bad things or like anything, and like crime rates, and we don't feel safe. We have to look over our shoulder when we walk down the streets or whatever. Yeah. But then you start thinking about like where else. There's a few places in the world where you can just go to the beach.
Yeah.
With there's no money involved in going to the beach.
Yeah.
No matter what economic state you're in when you were younger, you could bring we used to bring 10 people to the beach and just chill on the beach all day with one packet of chips and bread, you know, and make chip sandwiches, and that was happy.
And those were nice as well.
Yeah, coming out of the ocean.
Oh yeah,
eating.
You don't get hungrier than when you come out of the ocean.
Yeah, no.
Like if you go for a surf or you go thinking, I don't know if it's that saltiness coming into your mouth from the ocean.
Cardio as well.
All the cardio running up and down.
No, it is. I actually I used to grow up inland in Pretoria, and there was nothing but malls, and you couldn't do anything without spending money. And there was 10-foot walls with electric fences and cameras, and we even had our own security guard. Like a normal house would just have a security guard, you know. And that's not a way of living. Like when I was too scared to go into my back garden to play like cricket or soccer or something. So you get stuck inside, and then the only thing you can do is go to a mall or go ice skating, which is all money. So when you don't grow up with money just endlessly coming out of your pocket, it is hard there. But then when I came here, it was and met you, it was let's just go to the beach.
Yeah.
Or let's go climb up the mountain, or you know.
Yeah, there's so
And-
much freedom.
Yeah, there's so much freedom. If you get tired of this beach, just go to the next one.
Mhm.
You know, just walk a couple kilometers and boom, you're in a whole different beach.
And like, yeah, luckily we're so blessed to live in a bay that has two different oceans on either side. So you have the Indian Ocean on the one side and the Atlantic on the other. And it's just like you can just like have such different variants of temperatures in that as well. But
Yeah.
that's just like a side note. But it's just amazing that you can literally
We do
In a
live in a gem
in a
of
day,
a place.
yeah, in a day you can walk from one ocean to the other side.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Like we are exactly like when I think about it, we are exactly in the dead center
Yeah.
of that that line of what's it, latitude, longitude that comes to down on the globe.
One of those.
One of those.
One of those.
It's right in the middle. We have both sides.
Yeah. It is freaky how you can just like when you drive over one of the hills here, Black Hill.
Yeah.
It's you can literally look like if you look behind you, you see a warm ocean where you can swim in boardies and
Mhm.
the waves aren't that big and you can just there's a lot of tidal pools and like you can snorkel there and everything. And then the next ocean is like this big, vast, cold ocean that has like bigger waves,
Yeah.
like scarier waves and like totally different like creatures. I don't know. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Like I was saying, we do have a gem here that we see. There we go. We
There you
just said so many good things
About this place. That
about
we
this
stayed
place that we stay in.
in. Yeah.
Even though sometimes we do wish to like go to a first world country or something.
Yeah,
We-
even though that I mean, maybe like one of us, two of us, or a lot of us like are in our own heads most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself here, where you get sucked up into a storyline where you want to move or go out somewhere to create these experiences, where you climb a giant mountain, you visit like an ancient temple, you see the culture of the people, and you kind of just like look up and you realize that you're just in this phenomenal place where you can actually do all those things that you want to do. Like you can go surf, you can go hike, you can go visit like these other like South Africa has 11 different languages, official
Yeah.
languages, and there's so many different types of people here, and it's just actually an amazing place.
Yeah. And even stuff here that you have to pay for,
Yeah.
you know, isn't really that expensive.
Yeah.
Like the scratch patch, where it's like Mineral World, where there's like just a pit of just all these polished gems and everything, and you go there and you pay like 60 rand, which is like what, €3 for
I think
dollars.
I think it's like what's it, 19 rand to
20
19 rand to the euro or something.
Yeah, whatever it is now.
Oh.
But
It's like 3 euros.
like
yeah.
that's not that much.
Yeah.
You know, that's not that much to just go on like even a first date. You know, it's cool. Like there's putt there, mini golf. You know, all for 60 rand.
Damn.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like
that's-
2 hours worth of work.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
2 hours worth of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minimum wage.
The minimum wage here is not the greatest. So yeah, it's like we do live in such a place, and sometimes we do get like stuck in our room and be like, oh, there's nothing to do or whatever. But there's something to do here.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you can like if you get bored in Cape Town,
Yeah.
you're really trying to get bored.
Yeah, you're trying.
You have to try your hardest to be bored.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's not everyone's style of like going to the beach. Some people don't like the sand, or they don't like hiking.
Yeah,
You know,
that's actually some topic I actually want to talk about as well. Is like how beneficial exercise is
oh yes,
for people that are closed in the space all day. Just like putting some shoes on, any pair of shoes, and just taking a step out that door and walking somewhere. Like you can walk up a mountain, you can go to the beach, and
or
you'll
you
feel
can
so
even
much better.
take a walk around the block
You can take a walk around
You
the
know,
block, and then it releases
with your dogs.
Exactly, and your dogs will be happy, you'll be
Yeah.
happy, and it releases all these different chemicals and endorphins and things like that. That will just
Yeah,
dissociate.
exercise is very important with like mental health. You know, very important. I mean, there's countless studies and like evidence proving like how a simple walk can
Yeah.
like make you so much happier. It's weird how we are like biologically like
Yeah.
made. You know, like why is going for a walk like beneficial for like mental health?
I know.
Like why is like how does that happen? How do you go for a walk where you put one leg in front of the other like consecutively multiple times, and then like all of a sudden your brain that did none of the work is
Yeah.
like happier?
Happy. It's,
You know?
it's actually crazy to think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like the simplest stuff, it's the
Yeah.
simple things
Yeah.
that you do that you like. If you're in a bad spot mentally, you think of the most complex ways to attain those chemicals that are released by that simple act of walking.
Yeah.
And like it's such a simple thing, but our bodies are so advanced and like these not like I'd say massive computers, but very advanced computers where
Yeah.
if you do something, causes a reaction and you are sorted.
Yeah, like it's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
But yeah, it's weird. Like even not even just exercise,
Yeah.
even going out and doing something, like going for a drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's. I remember when I wasn't in such a good space, I would make up so many excuses to go outside. Like I would know you would phone me and be like, "Let's go for a drive, like to the top of the mountain, like Chapman's Peak or
Yeah.
whatever." You know, and then I'd be like, "Oh no, like I'm tired." You know, like all these excuses that didn't really happen, or like it didn't really feel like I just wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
You know, but once you take that like even if it's a mission, like I don't really feel like going out now, that means I have to shower or whatever. You know, just do that.
Yeah.
If you've got really nothing else to do but sit on your phone and watch Netflix or YouTube or like game, then you do have enough time to go out and see a friend.
Yeah, it's
You know,
true.
because it really also like mentally,
Yeah.
your friends like help you a lot. You know, just there's nothing better than sitting around with your friends and talking shit.
Exactly.
There's
This is
literally nothing
I know,
better.
and that's what we're doing right now as
Yeah.
well. And it's just such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, there's like it helps like so much.
And it's so cool as well that it only takes a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's like you get like you say you get ready, you shower, you put your shoes on, you put some clothes on, and you head outside, and then immediately after those couple of minutes of getting ready, and you take that first step, and you actually get to the car or get to your friend's place. It's like such a short window, and then something flips mentally, and you just immediately feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like when you, like you said, it just takes a couple minutes. Like instead of watching a YouTube video or like a Netflix series about like let's say we talk about YouTube video of like celebrities going out on boats and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, I want to live that life and I want to be that extravagant, or you just see friends like skimboarding or like surfing or whatever you're watching. If it's like because there's always like a group of people mostly doing it.
Yeah.
So if you're watching that or watching a Netflix series of like this group of high school kids getting up to like no good or like you know, even if it's like sci-fi related like vampires or whatever, you know, instead of watching that and wanting to be like, because you obviously watch it to get grasped by that.
Yes, yeah.
You know
what's actually
so
super interesting about that, just like a quick side note,
yeah,
is that we actually, you can carry on, I just want to say this
yeah,
part,
yeah,
like
don't worry.
like through viewing something, like people doing activities and that, you actually experience it yourself in a small percentage, and that's why a lot of people that get hooked onto a video of someone surfing, they can watch for hours just because they are micro experiencing that experience through the screen.
Yeah,
And they're like hold on to that, thinking that is like going to give them the same.
this is where I was actually going. So
okay, yeah.
what I was saying is that instead of watching that and like micro experiencing that, you could go out. Maybe not the sci-fi thing. No matter maybe the sci-fi thing. I don't know.
It's way
Some people like think that Bigfoot's real or like vampires are real, and like good to you. I mean, I don't have the imagination to. I mean, I do kind of like want to believe megalodons are real because it's cool to think like something like that. But then instead of going out,
or even dragons,
or like dragons, I'm still convinced dragons exist. You can't prove me otherwise. But so instead of like just having this micro experience, like you said, go out and do those things with your friends, because when you go out, you meet new people, which means new opportunities that can benefit you so much, you know. And meeting people is the biggest thing, because if you meet someone and you have a good impression on them, the people are willing to help other people.
Yeah.
No, we talk about the rat race about being better than other people, but like a lot of people want other people to strive.
Yeah, it's
You know?
it's such a natural human
Yeah.
instinct to have, you know.
Yeah, like why do you give money to the guy begging on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Because you want to help him.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you feel bad or whatever, but that like feeling you get of like feeling bad
Mm-hmm.
is coming from like, oh, I'm privileged, so let me give.
Yeah.
You know, like I always give the guy on the side of the road money, like if I've got.
Yeah.
You know, if I've got change, obviously if you had a card machine, maybe like it would be a bit different. But if I have change, like why not?
Or even like an extra sandwich on the side or
Yeah.
something, you know. Yeah.
What would you rather do? Would you rather give like someone on the side of the road money
Mm-hmm.
or food?
I'd rather give them food.
Rather give them food.
Yeah. Yeah, because you never know what they're gonna do with the money.
I think the whole like concept of like rather give them food than money, like that food obviously helps because food's super expensive now.
Mm.
But also like I'm not. This might be a very hot take right now, so
Okay.
everyone get ready.
This is just a loosely based opinion, and it's not constricted.
Yeah.
It's just like a thought. It's a
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
It's
It's a
a thought that's passing.
So I was thinking like like we have tuck here, which is like what crack.
Yeah.
It's like very bad crack,
Okay.
and like obviously like heroin and alcohol are the three things that you can like die from if you don't get it. You know, like you can physically like die from it.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Like if you just like stop, your body like can't handle it or whatever.
It goes into shock and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like thinking that like if you do give them money and they do buy that, they do need that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously I'm not like giving them in the intention of them like buying drugs,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that like if they didn't have the money, they would like freak out or like they'll do any if an addict is addicted, they'll do anything
Mm-hmm. To get that fixed.
to get that fix.
Mhm.
You know, and like doesn't matter if you get them food or not. I don't know. That's just my hot take for it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So this comes to our next part of the podcast where we're going to almost do like a challenge
Yeah.
every week. So the next week when we do like our next episode, we'll give you the recap of what's happening. I think today we agreed on this week we're just gonna take cold showers
Yeah.
and like the benefits of see if we see any benefits of having cold showers.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Keep going. And
Yeah.
so what are the benefits? Like let me
just check it out. Yeah, you can go on your phone and
just
check it
grab
out.
my phone there,
Yeah.
and then we can check what the benefits are, and then
I'm always so
we
cute.
can actually see the benefits of a culture. Maybe should we not actually look at what the benefits are?
No, we shouldn't. I think we should.
Because I think we should go into it blindly,
Yeah.
and then this is, by the way, this is just cold showers. We're not gonna
Do any meditating, like breathing practices,
No,
just cold showers.
just cold showers, no hot showers. Though,
Mm.
like when we're like cleaning ourselves, just cold showers. Coming out the gym, just cold showers.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna see. I don't think we should look,
Yeah.
because then when we come back, we can see that we can be like, oh, this is how I felt.
Exactly.
And then next week we'll see the benefits and see if we got any of those benefits
If they
that they were
correlate,
talking
yeah.
about. Because I think now if we look,
Mhm.
then we're gonna like hyper focus on the benefits
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then start seeing
And like
them even if they're not
manifesting them, even though
to
they're
see
not
if
there.
they're
Like
if
a
they-
placebo.
yeah. So I think we take a week of cold showers
Uh huh.
and see, because I've heard a lot of good things of people saying like, oh, it boosts testosterone and like
Yeah.
like this is what I've heard. We haven't looked.
Yeah, we haven't
So-
looked yet. Yes.
So we like and boost like makes you feel better and
Mhm.
more loose and whatever. So I think that's what. Are you keen to?
I'm so keen to do that. I'm
Okay,
keen to
so
like try it
we-
out
from-
and see
from
what happens.
today, From
Yeah.
today,
Mhm.
we just take cold showers, and then when we come back, we will discuss it with you guys and with ourselves, and then see what's like happening with that.
Yeah.
And then every week we'll obviously change it
We'll
up.
change it
So
up,
next time we'll think of a topic or whatever to do.
Yeah. So So yeah, this first podcast that we're making now, we didn't have any intentions of topics that we wanted to talk about. We were just kind of seeing
This
like
is
where
full
the
on raw dogging.
exactly like see like where the conversation leads us. But yeah, it's just kind of like an introductory podcast for you guys. But with the following weeks, we're going to be focusing more on certain topics or certain exercises or certain things that you can do, and then talking about that. For next week, we're going to be doing the cold showers and that. So just giving you a little bit.
And
more
there's no category that our podcast would fit in. So it's not just about exercise or about like meditation or about mental health or whatever. We are gonna branch out a lot through these next couple episodes.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna try find things that we find interesting, and then we just want to talk about that. So there's no like, it's not about exercise like mental things. Is that even though that's a large portion of what's going on right now, it's like mental health and exercise, and like social economic patterns and like what's going on in the world. Obviously those things are happening, but the intention of the podcast is more so just to like take you away from all of that and just give you something to think about.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not
just
trying
come
to
chat with us.
exactly. Just trying to have a good vibe, good times. Yeah.
I think, and well, thank you guys for coming. I think this is gonna be the end.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we're gonna finish this off now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was good. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for your time. And if you stayed towards the end, thank you guys, because not everyone's gonna watch till the end.
Yeah.
But if you did, thanks. Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah. And we're gonna try to get this on a platform for podcasts in this next coming weeks. But there's a little bit of a issue there with actually putting our stuff on a platform for podcasts. So at the moment, we're just going to be doing the YouTube until we can find a way to get ourselves onto one.
Let
of
us know where you
platforms.
guys get your podcast from, and then maybe the highest one we get, we'll probably put it on there.
Yeah, that's good.
And then just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, that was so much fun. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I'm joking.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So thanks.
Thanks. Alrighty, that's us. Oh, check you next week.
Ah,
nice.